So, with Jenna Coleman officially announcing that she's leaving Doctor Who at the end of Series 9, I just wanted to come on here and talk about, what I thought of Clara as a character, and, what we could see from a new companion, and the possibility of what companion are there characters that could be, good candidates for the Doctor to take on as a companion. So, let's get started of what I think of Clara no longer being the Doctor's companion. I think it's time that she should have left, because, we've wrapped up the whole story with the Impossible Girl, and yes, the whole, the Doctor, and hanging around with a girl who at first he thought she was a mystery, that started with, Smith and, Amy Pond during Series 5, but Amy and Rory as well grew to be their own characters, and I feel like their story had a nice little ending, at least in my opinion, even though the Angels Take Manhattan, I look back at that episode and I'm just like, man, I just don't care. Anyway, so with Clara, the other thing is that I kind of felt like throughout Series 8, I was just like, man, I just don't care about you anymore, because she was starting to become Rose Tyler levels annoying. If you like Rose Tyler, that's totally fine. I just can't stand her. And I was starting to be unable to stand Clara as well, and rewatching throughout Series 8, I didn't give two shits about her and Danny Pink. Looking back at this, I was like, God, it feels like someone's trying to write it's like Moffat's trying to write force shipping here, because really, these two characters should not be able to coexist, and there's just moments in here where you're just like, God, Clara's too over-controlling, and Danny's just so goddamn one-note that I don't even care anymore. So, if anything, I feel like Clara's story should have officially ended in the Christmas special last Christmas, which, yeah, I felt that's where they were trying to go there, and I was like, you're gonna stay on for another season? Okay. Now, admittedly, yes, there are moments with Clara where I really enjoy her hanging out with Capaldi as much as I did her hanging out with Smith, but I feel like, again, her story is just kind of like, where else can you go here with her? You've already her whole story with her love life and, her normal life, as well as, being the Impossible Girl, are over, and I feel like it's time to move on. So, yeah, I think, it's going to be sad, and no doubt Moffat's going to make us all feel, Moffat's going to do his best to be like, you're going to feel bad, so says the Moffat. No doubt in my mind that's what Moffat has in mind, is that he's going to try his best to make us feel bad that we are losing this character. I am going to ruin your feels. You thought it was going to be a fun episode? I'm the Moffat. Fuck your day. I have the weirdest feeling that Stephen Moffat's, that's his mindset when he's killing off characters. Anyway, so let's talk about, possible characters that could become his companion, the Doctor's new companion. Starting off with, of course, Missy. We don't know how long Michelle Gomez is going to stay around as Missy. She said that she's sticking around past Season 9, apparently, in an interview. So there's a strong possibility that she and the Doctor might be, hanging out together more. It could be kind of reminiscent. It's very reminiscent of the Doctor's time, Tom Baker's time with Romana. Only now he's hanging out with his worst enemy, who's now a woman, and could turn on, and also a very psychotic woman, and could turn on him at any time. Yeah. So that would be very interesting. With her now being part of the, I guess you could say now it's a TARDIS team, because it looks like, Missy is going to be traveling with the Doctor along with Clara, so the three, they're going to be the Three Musketeers. That's going to be wonderful. And I'm actually really interested to see, Clara trying to get over, working with Missy, the Master. I'm just going to call her the Master. So I'm going to see I'm wondering how Clara's going to react with working with the Master, considering that she's she's responsible for killing her boyfriend, so yeah. That's something I'm interested about, of seeing them work together. And if it's a possibility, then is it, could it be that Missy's going to stay on as just the single companion, and it'll just be two Time Lords traveling across the universe? The Doctor and the Master, bitter enemies, now just hanging out. Yeah. So another possibility is Osgood. We do know that this character is returning, although some people are saying that it's not really her, it's probably going to be her sister, who was mentioned the 50th anniversary and was supposedly better at everything Osgood did. So it's Osgood 2, the re-Ozzing. I don't know. So Osgood's another possibility if she really, or we don't even know if she really died. I mean, hell, we thought the Master, quote-unquote, died, but it's the Master. He survived worse. Anyway, so yeah, Osgood may be coming back, or it could be her sister that they mentioned the 50th anniversary. So yeah, Osgood's a good, strong possibility. I mean, the Doctor did say that he, kind of mentioned the final episode of Season 8, where he said, he kind of referenced, hey, you want to come travel with me? And I think that'd be interesting, a girl with a lot of intelligence to her, and, very quirky. I think that her and it's kind of funny, because Osgood reminds me a little bit of Velma from Scooby-Doo, because she's, intelligent and, very quirky, and kind of notices the little things, and very bright, and mentally she can keep up with the Doctor. So I think Osgood's another possibility. I think she's another possibility. So those are my two. It's either going to be from Traveling Here on, Missy or Osgood if they go with just a regular character. A character from the show, that we've already seen. It could be one of those two. Those are my two top picks of who will be if they decide to go with, hey, we've got a character here, a pre-established character, now he or she's going to be traveling with the Doctor. It's Missy that's going to be traveling from here on, or it's going to be Osgood. Now, if they go with a completely new character, let's get into that. If they go with a completely new character, here's something I want. I don't want the Doctor just picking up a person just because she's a mystery, or he or she's a mystery. I keep saying he or she because, there have been male companions throughout the Doctor's life, so, yeah, starting all the way back with, Ian and then Jamie. So, you've got a few of those, but anyway, so if we go with a new character for the Doctor to travel with, how about this, Moffat? How about a character that's not a big mystery and the Doctor actually thinks they're intelligent, thinks they're, fun, not have this big mystery around them? Martha wasn't a big mystery. The Doctor turned her into a legend, mind you, but in that alternate timeline with the Master, but yeah, Martha wasn't a mystery. Rose didn't start out that way either, and although, we kind of figured that with Donna. Donna's a different story, but anyway, so from here on out, Moffat, how about just a regular character that's not a big mystery that the Doctor's trying to figure out, or doesn't have some weird explanation to her? She's just a girl, it's just a person. This new character can just be a person. That is all I ask. Just be, a person. That's kind of all I want here, Moffat. Just be a person who's intelligent, not smart-mouthy, can hold her own or his own, depending. So yeah, I just kind of want a regular character kind of thrown in this situation and not have this big mystery around them. I'm just kind of tired. The reason why I keep saying no big mysteries is because I'm pretty tired of it. We've done this twice already, Moffat, with Clara and before then with Amelia, and we did that before with, the mystery thing didn't really, come to fruition towards the end of Series 4, and it wasn't really, harped on with, God, I just forgot her name. With Donna. Why did I forget Donna? So yeah, with Donna, it's a little bit of an exception because it was kind of hinted in the background, and the Doctor just wanted a friend. He wasn't interested in, this big mystery around her, even though he found it weird that they kept running into each other. So, yeah. Anyway, and also, with Donna's granddad as well, but anyway. So, I don't mean to sound like I'm ranting or whatever, I'm just kind of tired of it, and yeah, I just kind of want a companion who can just be a friend. How about that? How about just have a friend? That's all I ask. But anyway, guys, you guys tell me, what do you want out of a new companion for the Doctor? Do you want someone new? And if so, what do you want their character to be like? And also, if you think it's already a pre-established character, who would you want to travel to a pre-established character to go traveling in the TARDIS with? Whether it be Missy or Osgood or even Strax, Vastra, and Jenny. Yeah, we could do it. Yeah, there's another one. Strax, Vastra, and Jenny. We love those background characters, so let's have them just travel around, kind of like with the Fifth Doctor when he had Tegan, Nyssa, and Adric. Except better. Okay, that's mean. I mean, Adric was annoying as fuck, but Nyssa and Tegan had their moments. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. So once again, really interested to see what you guys come up with. Whether do you guys think it should be a new character or a previous character? And if it's a new character, what do you want them to be like? Just have it like a big what if scenario. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.